Pokemon Go Fest 2025 might be the best event you ever play if you are prepared for it. Playing an event with this much going on can be extremely overwhelming, and if you're not careful, it can make the experience actually unfun. And at the end of the day, that's the only thing that really matters, is how much fun you have. So let me hand you the 7-step strategy for Pokemon Go Fest 2025 so you can maximize the weekend, have as much fun as possible, and get out of the event as much as possible. Starting with step 1, the basic info. What's happening? When? Is it worth getting the paid ticket? Go Fest Global is happening June 28th and 29th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. local time each day. It's free to play, but there is an optional ticket upgrade that costs $15 USD. But if you don't want to buy that, here's what you get for free. Snapshot encounters with what should be Rodom, 1-hour lure modules, party play duration increased from 3 to 8 hours, and then all the spawns and raids, which I will cover later. And if you pay the $15, here's what you get with the ticket. From 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., you get higher shiny odds on wild Pokemon, a special research that gives you an encounter with Volcanion, the brand new mythical. Different Pokemon will be attracted to your incense, which I'll explain later. Hourly global challenges with rewards, habitat-themed collection challenges, 3 Ghost Snapshot encounters per day, and the ability to encounter Klefki and Skiddo globally for the first time ever. Then from 12 a.m. to midnight each day, roughly, like the whole thing, your buddy will gain more hearts for friendship activities. You can get up to 9 free raid passes by spinning gyms. You can open up to 40 gifts per day, 6 special trades per day, and 50% less Stardust per trade. So obviously huge differences here. If you play the free event over the weekend, you're basically just getting an event with a bunch of cool spawns and raids. And if you pay for the ticket, you get Go Fest. In my personal opinion, this is a no-brainer to buy if you can afford it, that is. But I think it's gonna be a great weekend either way. Okay, so what are the new things that we're getting during all of this? New shinies include Carbink and the Frigibax family. The new mythical is Volcanion. Klefki and Skiddo will be globally available for the first time. And obviously Crowned Zacian and Zamazenta. And how you're gonna get Crowned Zacian and Zamazenta during global, I know it doesn't say on the website for Pokemon Go for Go Fest, which is kind of confusing, but in the announcement of the crown forms and like the energy and stuff, it does say, starting with Pokemon Go Fest 2025, global trainers will be able to earn Crowned Sword Energy or Crowned Shield Energy by defeating Crowned Sword Zacian or Crowned Shield Zamazenta in raid battles, or by completing ticketed special research. So we should be able to get the Crowned Energy from raids that you then use to change the forms of your Zacian and Zamazenta. Okay, so that's all the new stuff and the basics. Let's move on to step 2, objectives. More specifically, your objectives. You see, Pokemon Go is in a lot of ways like life itself. If you go in blind swinging at everything, you're gonna hit nothing and just have a bad time. So you need to figure out what you're trying to play for and get from this weekend. It's gonna influence how you prepare, what you prepare for, how you play throughout the weekend, what times you like grind versus take a break. For example, if you care a lot about getting Zacian raids done for more candies and IVs, you should play spawns on Saturday and raids on Sunday, because Zacian is only in raids on Sunday. So figure out what you're playing for. Do you want to catch new shinies or specific ones that you need? Then make sure to play hard during the hours where those Pokemon are spawning, which I'll explain. Are you trying to get Zamazenta or Zacian in the Pokedex? Or do you want the shiny for the first time? Or do you need more candies and XL candies? Then raid super hard on the day that correlates with the legendary that you want. Do you only need XP or Stardust? Then spawns for Stardust, raids for XP. Figure out what you're trying to get from this weekend and then mold your gameplay strategy around it. For example, my strategy for this weekend are focused primarily on spawns day 1 and primarily on raids day 2, just because I do want to get more of these shinies, even though I got them during global or the in-person events. But Zacian, I just like a little bit more. It's cooler to me and I want to catch more of them. And I want more shinies. So I'm gonna go harder on the raids for Zacian. I will get some Zamazenta done, but like, Zacian's my dog, you know? Okay, step 3, storage. This is one of the most common questions that I get every year for Pokemon Go Fest. How many Pokemon do I need to have in terms of storage, like storage space? How many balls do I need? How many revives? Here's the deal. Storage is expensive in Pokemon Go, and not everybody can afford to max it out. So regardless of how much storage space you do or do not have, here's the bare minimum of what I think you should have going into an event like Go Fest. 100 Pokemon storage available. This lets you focus on catching a bunch of Pokemon throughout the weekend and not having to transfer things like every 5 minutes. But obviously if you get a lot of shinies, then that will fill up. You also want maybe 25 to 50 item storage still available if you're planning on doing a lot of raids, because you will get a lot of items from raids, and although you can continue to transfer them out, like your Go Plus is not going to spin stops because you're always going to be full on items. Raiding gives you a lot of items. As for balls, you should try to have 250 to 500 Pokeballs, depending on your inventory, 200-ish Great Balls, and 100-ish Ultra Balls, because you will be spinning stops hopefully throughout the weekend, so you're going to replenish. but having this many will keep you pretty prepared for all of the spawns that you'll go out to catch. Because obviously you're gonna wanna use Ultra Balls and Great Balls for the shinies, and then Pokeballs for all the other stuff just to catch. Now, for revives and potions, kind of depends on your strategy. If you're going super hard for raids, you're probably gonna wanna go into the event with like 50 to 100 revives and 50 to 100 potions, in my opinion. But if you're not doing raids, who cares? Okay, and what should you delete to make room for? For items, extra potions, extra revives, extra berries, extra evolution items, or TMs that you don't need. Just don't transfer the elite TMs. And for Pokemon, typically my rule of thumb, I mean, I transfer everything, but like, you know, generally speaking, anything that's not 3 stars or above, 100% EV, shiny, sentimental, meta relevant, exclusive, like everything that's not that, just transfer it. Once you do that, you're ready for step 4, spawns. Okay, time for the meat. What are the spawns? When are they? How can you maximize for it? For starters, the spawns are for everyone, including people who didn't buy the ticket. So just know that this applies to you too. The only spawns that ticket holders get that the non-ticket holders don't are the incense spawns. And remember, if you buy the ticket, you do have a boosted shiny rate. Okay, there are 3 different kinds of spawns happening during GoFest 2025. Habitat spawns, daily spawns, and incense spawns. There will be 4 different habitats rotating throughout the day, which basically means during certain time windows, certain habitats will be happening, which means certain Pokemon that correlate to the habitat will spawn in the wild. Starting with the Moonless Volcano habitat happening from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and then 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. And the spawns for this include Houndour, Numel, Duskull, Gothita, Golett, Fletchling, Red Flower Flabebe, Skrelp, Fuecoco, and Carbink. So brand new shiny Carbink, really good shiny. I need more of that. Moonless Volcano. Then we have the Galvanic Dojo. The hours are 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Spawns include Machop, Electabuzz, Teddiursa, Scraggy, Chespin, Yellow Flower Flabebe, Pancham, Dedenne, Crabrawler, and Mindfu. Great spawns in there. Then the Hypnotic Tundra from 12 to 1 p.m. and then 4 to 6 p.m. Spawns include Alolan Sandshrew, Swinub, Spheal, Piplup, Snover, Munna, Elgyem, Blue Flower Flabebe, Bergmite, and Frigibax. There's the brand new shiny Frigibax, so 12 to 1, 4 to 6. And finally, the Fey Swamp habitat from 1 to 2 p.m. and 5 to 6 p.m. with spawns including Clefairy, Tentacool, Mawile, Gulpin, Venipede, Popplio, Mareanie, Morlul, Togetic, and Orange Flower Flabebe. So what's the best habitat? There isn't one. I mean, I would say the Frigibax one's pretty good, but like there really isn't one. They all have a mix of useful Pokemon and good shinies and rare stuff, so really depends on what you need and what you're playing for. But obviously the Carbink habitat and the Frigibax habitat will probably be the most played. And I will say there's a bit of a mega strategy when going about these. So during the Moonless Volcano, you're gonna wanna mega evolve a ghost type Pokemon that's gonna boost the candies, XL candies, and XP when catching the other ghost type Pokemon. Galvanic Dojo, you can do a fighting type mega. Hypnotic Tundra, obviously best with ice. And Fey Swamp is poison, I think. And this strategy is basically having a certain Pokemon mega evolved while you're catching Pokemon that have the same typing as your mega. So for example, if you're out there catching Charmander, you want to have a Mega Charizard or a Mega Fire type actively mega evolved, because that's going to give you more XP, more candies, and more XL candies when you catch Charmander or other fire types. And then when it comes to the spawns, again, just kind of play during the specific hours that have the Pokemon that you want. So those are the spawns. Now we have the daily spawns and daily encounters. So on Saturday, these Pokemon will be spawning in the wild throughout the entire event hours, throughout the whole day, 10 to 6, regardless of what habitat is happening. Chansey, Skarmory, Larvitar, Shieldon, Shelmet, Volibee, Oranguru, and Goomy. Great shinies there. Then on Sunday, these are the Pokemon that will be spawning in the wild. Galarian Farfetch'd, Cubone, Routes, Carablast, Pawniard, Dino, Passimian, and Jangmo-O. So really cool spawns, really rare spawns spawning in the wild. Gotta be fun. And there's a lot of great hunts, obviously like Larvitar, Skarmory, Routes, Dino, Jangmo-O, all great hunts. So really good Pokemon from that. Then for ticket holders only, we're gonna get some bangers. On the incense, you will be getting, if you have a ticket during the entire weekend event, Torkoal during the Moonless Volcano hours, Skidoo during Galvanic Dojo, Pachirisu during the Hypnotic Tundra, these all could be shiny by the way, and then Klefki during the Fey Swamp. Klefki cannot be shiny. Also for ticket holders on your incense throughout the day, you will be getting unknown spawns, which could be shiny. On Saturday, you'll get unknown D, E, H, I, L, and S. And then on Sunday, unknown D, O, R, S, and W. All of them can be shiny except for W. So Incense will have cool exclusive regionals during certain habitat windows, and then throughout the entire thing, unknown. So to sum it all up for spawns, just play during the hours that have the Pokemon that you need or want the most. Very easy. Okay, now that you're ready for the spawns, let's move on to step 5, raids. Okay, important note, by the way, we have unlimited remote raid passes every day from Friday the 27th until Sunday the 29th. So just know unlimited remote raids during GoFest weekend, which is great because in the raids, we've got 1-stars, Frigibacks, and then the Dapper Costume Pikachu with the yellow, blue, and red hats. Yes, unfortunately, Costume Pikachu is only available in the raids, which does really suck, honestly. We don't know what's in eggs for the event or field research quite yet, so it could be Pikachu, hopefully, but so far, just the raids for now. 3-star raids, same thing. It's the Phalanx, which is such a great costume, shiny, and such a great costume. It is only in the 3-star raids, though. So hopefully eggs, hopefully field research, but definitely 3 stars. And then on Saturday, Crowned Shield Zamazenta will be in the 5-star raids. Once you defeat it, you'll catch the normal Zamazenta. And then we should be getting energy from the raids. On Sunday, it's going to be Zacian. So obviously, raiding tier 1 and tier 3 raids is going to be great if you're looking to get these costumes and the costume shinies. You do have unlimited remote raids. It is very expensive to remote raid, especially right now in Pokemon Go. So, you know, we'll see how good of a shiny hunting strategy that comes out to be, because I will take some raids, but who knows what the rates are going to actually be for those raids. We'll see. But the big boys, the tier 5s, Zacian and Zamazenta, are definitely worth rating. By themselves, without the crown form and the crown energy, they're not really that good. Like, they rank like in the top 100 in Masters League, but like neither of them are great. But once you evolve them or change their form to the crown forms, they're insane. Zacian crown form becomes the 2nd best steel type, the 2nd best fairy type, and is the #1 ranked Pokemon in the Masters League. And then Zamazenta becomes the #1 steel type and the #2 in the Masters League. Like, they are very meta relevant. Like, some of the best Pokemon in the game by a long shot. Also because you can use both of them in Dynamax and Gigantamax raids, even though they're not technically Dynamax or Gigantamax Pokemon. And fun fact, Zamazenta crown form, when you bring it into a Dynamax raid, it spawns in automatically with 1 little shield bar on its shield, which is very, very cool that that's a feature. I think you might have to like unlock or power up one of its max moves to do that, but that is a thing. And again, the way that you get energy for these guys during Global Go Fest to be able to evolve them or change their forms is by defeating raids. I'm going to assume it's probably going to take, I don't know how many, but it's probably going to take quite a bit of raids to get enough energy, which is 1,000, in order to do the form change. So we'll see how much raids it's going to... I assume it's probably going to take quite a bit of raids to do that. So be warned, but it's definitely worth it if you can. And then when raiding, just use your best Psychic-type Pokemon against Zamazenta, because it's a pure fighting type, and then against Zacian, your best Steel types. Just easy to knock out. And then if you want to maximize your candies and XL candies for Zacian and Zamazenta when catching them, which I would recommend, make sure that on Saturday for Zamazenta, have a max level Mega Fighting type or a Mega Fighting type evolved. Sunday, have a Mega Fairy type. So obviously raid for whatever you need from tier 1 to tier 5. I would definitely recommend Zacian and Zamazenta. All right, step 6, research. If you buy a ticket, you'll get 1 special research, which will give you a Volcanion, which for this Go Fest is like the debut mythical. It's not very meta relevant. It's like 80th in the Masters League, so like nothing crazy, but it is obviously very rare, very exclusive. So if you do end up buying the ticket, this is part of the value that you get, so you might as well claim it. And in the future, this is going to be a very, very rare Pokemon because not everybody will buy this, and you know, years on down the line, not many people are going to have it. And again, we still do not know what's in the field research during this event. Pokemon Go does state on the website there will be fun-filled field research. Fun-filled field research, Jesus. So that hopefully means that there's going to be costume Pokemon in the field research as well, that will allow us to get encounters with those Pokemon for free instead of having to raid for them, but we'll see. So now, one of the most important steps, step 7, bonus tips. 2 words. Adventure effects. These are the best things ever added to the game besides remote raids. Adventure effects are basically moves on certain Pokemon that allow you to enable an in-game effect. Here are the current ones. Roar of Time on Origin Form Dialga lets you pause the timer on items like Incense, Daily Incense, Lucky Eggs, Star Pieces, so great for extra long daily incenses. Spatial Wren on Origin Form Palkia doubles your encounter distance for wild Pokemon. Iceburn on White Kyurem slows down the catch circle on Pokemon encounters and improves the catch rate by 50%, which includes the Go Plus. Freeze Shock on Black Kyurem stops a Pokemon from moving during an encounter like a Nana Berry and increases the catch rate by 25%. Sunsteel Strike on Duskmane Necrozma attracts daytime Pokemon on a special incense and allows for daytime evolutions. And Moongeist Beam on Dawnwing's Necrozma attracts nighttime Pokemon and allows nighttime spawns. So if you have Pokemon with these adventure effects, you need to use them during this weekend. Here's how. If you want to maximize for wild spawns, use Spatial Rend, obviously, because it literally allows you to encounter 2 times the amount of Pokemon, because you can see 2 times more Pokemon on the map. It's a no-brainer. It's so helpful. If you're raiding and using an auto catcher, definitely use either Freeze Shock or Ice Burn, because not only will this make the legendary Pokemon in the raids way easier and faster to catch, but your Go Plus or whatever auto catcher you're using is going to have a much higher likelihood of catching Pokemon and shiny Pokemon in the wild. And the other effects you just don't need. Another huge tip is like IRL prep. It's basically just things like portable chargers, water bottles, cables, just like having those on you so while you're out playing, you're not like running out of battery in 20 minutes. So I'll leave a link. There's like an Amazon link in the description of the video that just has like all of the essentials for Pokemon Go gameplay. So if you need any of that, get it down below. And a big tip is a search string. Basically what a search string does is like allows you to just search up and show specific Pokemon. So mine is age 0 and exclamation point shiny, exclamation point video, and exclamation point trade, and exclamation point 4-star, and exclamation point location background. Basically, when you put and exclamation mark, whatever is after that, it will not include that when you search for Pokemon. So if I do age 0 and exclamation point shiny, it means that when I search and use that search, it will show me all the Pokemon I've caught in the last 24 hours, excluding any shiny Pokemon I caught. So it makes it easy, basically, when you can just exclude all the things that you want to keep in one search string. You just search that search string, you save it in your favorites, you just hold down and it saves to your favorites. Search the search string and then just auto transfer everything. And you don't have to work, or you don't have to IV check, you don't have to look for shinies. Like if you exclude all the good Pokemon and all the Pokemon that you want to keep, you can just transfer things out, bulk transfer them, which saves you so much time. And now you're ready for Pokemon Go Fest 2025. If you have any other tips or tricks, leave them in the comment section below. I cannot wait to play this event, and I cannot wait for you to go out and have some fun. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.